Start with a stock market wipeout happening now at noon. You can see the big board in Wall Street now down 1,069 points. Stocks were deep in the red early this morning. They have stayed down across the board so far. The reason? High inflation not going anywhere and now fueling fears on Wall Street. Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Yamamoto. Lower gas prices partially slowed the rate, but everything else pointing to high inflation sticking around. CBS News' Elise Preston breaks it all down for us.
The summer inflation heat is cooling off slightly. New government data shows consumer prices surged 8.3% in August over last year, but down from a 40-year high in June.
It looks like maybe inflation might have peaked in June. That makes sense because if you think about it, that's when we saw gas prices tick up over $5.
Gas prices are about 25 cents cheaper per gallon than they were a month ago. But for many households, that savings is funneled into still high food prices, up more than 11%, the highest since 1979, and shelter up 6.2% from a year ago.
The whole place is the bedroom.
The rent for Jerry Weinberger's New York City apartment is jumping from $1,833 to $2,500 a month, forcing her out.
I expected it to be raised, but not that much.
How we feel about inflation can also affect prices. A New York Fed survey from August found consumers expect inflation to fall further in the short and long term.
The Federal Reserve is committed to making that happen, with another rate hike expected at next week's meeting.
If you have a strong labor market, which we still do, and we have prices on the rise, it gives the Fed the ammunition to go and attack inflation.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says it's a delicate balance to avoid a recession.
The Fed is going to need great skill and also some good luck to achieve what we sometimes call a soft landing.
Economists warn it's a marathon, not a sprint, back to prices anywhere close to pre-pandemic levels. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Experts say as the housing market cools, the rental market should soon follow suit. And small business owners are reporting that inflation is still a big concern, but not as big of a challenge now. The Small Business Optimism Index is tracking those feelings. The percentage of owners who say inflation was their biggest problem dropped from 37% down to 29%. Economists say that's still not cause for optimism, with the worker shortage remaining a major issue. And you're looking live at the White House right now. We're on the heels of this inflation report. President Biden now holding a signing ceremony on the Inflation Reduction Act. The White House invited thousands of guests for the signing, among them San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo. The $750 billion Inflation Reduction Act was signed into law last month. It deals with key Democratic priorities, lowering prescription drug costs, climate change, and taxing larger corporations. Critics have said that despite its name, the measure will do very little to slow inflation immediately.